The Quiet Lantern Maker. A1 version. Bedtime story. Hello. Welcome. Tonight, we will listen to a gentle story. It is a story about a quiet village, a woman, and a small lantern that brings peace to tired hearts. Take a slow breath. Let your mind rest. Let your heart be soft. Now, the story begins. Part 1. A small village. There was a small village. It was a peaceful place. The air was clean. The river was slow. The hills were soft like pillows. In this village, people walked slowly. They liked quiet mornings. They liked warm evenings. They smiled at each other. They lived simple days. In this quiet place, there lived a woman named Aliyah. Aliyah was kind. Aliyah was calm. Aliyah made lanterns. Part 2. Special lanterns. Aliyah's lanterns were special. They were not bright like big city lights. They did not shine loudly. They glowed softly, like warm tea on a cold night, like a candle in a quiet room, like a soft moon in the sky. People came to Aliyah when they felt tired, or sad, or lonely. They came when their hearts were heavy. They came when the world felt too loud. Aliyah did not say many words. She smiled softly. She listened. And she gave them a lantern. The lanterns did not fix problems, but they helped hearts rest. Part 3. A tired traveler. One evening, a traveler came. He looked tired. His face looked sad. His eyes looked heavy. He did not look tired in his body. He looked tired in his heart. Aliyah smiled. "Hello," she said. "Please sit." The traveler sat in a chair. He put his bag down. He held his hands together. "I walked for many days," he said. "I wanted to feel calm. But my thoughts are loud. I cannot rest." Aliyah nodded slowly. She understood. Part 4. The Small Lantern. Aliyah stood up. She walked to a small shelf. She picked up a tiny lantern. The lantern had a soft, small light. Not big. Not strong. Just gentle. Aliyah gave the lantern to the traveler. "This lantern does not give answers," she said. "It stays with you. It waits with you. You do not need to do anything. Just be here. Just rest." The traveler held the lantern. The light was warm. His hands relaxed. Part 5. A Quiet Night. That night, the traveler sat in a small room. He put the lantern beside him. He breathed slowly. He did not try to think. He did not try to fix anything. The lantern glowed softly. The room felt safe. The night felt peaceful. Outside, the wind was soft. The stars were quiet. Everything felt gentle. The traveler closed his eyes. His mind did not feel clear, but it felt lighter. It felt softer. And that was enough. Part 6. Morning Softness. In the morning, the traveler walked to Aliyah. He gave the lantern back. I still have questions, he said. But I feel calm. I feel soft inside. I can walk again. Aliyah smiled. Yes, she said. Peace can be small. Small peace is still peace. The traveler thanked her. He walked slowly out of the village. His steps were gentle. His heart was calm. Ending. Sometimes, peace is not loud. Sometimes, peace is quiet. Sometimes, peace is small. But small peace is real. And small peace can grow. Tonight, may your heart also rest. May your mind be soft. May your breath be easy. You are safe. Good night.
A2 version. Bedtime story. Hello. Welcome. Tonight, we will listen to a gentle story. This is a calm story about a quiet village, a peaceful lantern maker, and a traveler who is looking for rest for his heart. You do not need to study right now. You do not need to think hard. Just relax. Listen slowly. And let your mind become soft and calm. Take a deep breath. Let it go slowly. Now, the story begins. Part 1. A peaceful village. There was a small village in a quiet valley. The village was simple and beautiful. People woke up with the morning sun. They walked to the small river. They said hello to neighbors. They enjoyed warm tea in the afternoon. The wind moved slowly between the trees. The water made soft sounds as it touched the stones. Even the birds sang in a calm way. Life here was gentle. Life here was slow. And in this peaceful village lived a woman named Aliyah. Aliyah was a lantern maker. But she did not make normal lanterns. Her lanterns were special. Part 2. Lanterns for the Heart. Aliyah's lanterns did not shine like city lights. They did not try to be bright. They whispered light. They glowed softly, like a small light on a quiet night. People came to Aliyah when they felt heavy inside. They came when they felt tired or sad. They came when they needed peace. Aliyah did not ask many questions. She listened with warm eyes. She smiled softly. Then she chose a lantern for each person. Every lantern had a different light. Some lights felt warm like a hug. Some lights felt gentle like soft rain. Some lights felt like the moon on still water. People took the lanterns home. And slowly, they felt better. Not suddenly, but gently. Part 3. The traveler arrives. One cool evening, a traveler came to the village. He walked slowly, like his steps were heavy. His clothes were not dirty, but his eyes looked tired. Aaliyah opened her door and smiled. "Welcome," she said. "You look tired. Please sit." The traveler sat down in a wooden chair. He looked at the floor. He held his hands tightly. "I have traveled for many days," he said quietly. "I wanted to find a place where my thoughts become quiet. But my thoughts follow me everywhere. I cannot rest." Aaliyah listened. She did not hurry. She did not tell him what to do. She simply nodded and said, "It is hard to carry a busy mind. Even when the body is still, the heart can feel tired." The traveler looked surprised. "Yes," he whispered. "That is exactly how I feel." Part 4. A Gentle Gift. Aaliyah stood and walked to her shelf. She touched each lantern softly, like she knew their feelings. Then she chose a small lantern. It had a soft, golden glow. It looked simple, but also warm and safe. Aaliyah gave the lantern to the traveler. "This lantern will not give you answers," she said. "It will not make everything clear. It will simply stay with you. It will help you rest without needing answers right away." The traveler held the lantern carefully. The light touched his hands. It felt warm, like kindness. His shoulders relaxed a little. His breath became slow. He did not smile, but his face became softer. Part 5. A Night of Rest. That night, the traveler stayed in a small room above Aaliyah's shop. He placed the lantern beside him. The light moved like calm water. He sat quietly. He did not try to think. He did not try to fix his heart. He just sat and breathed. Outside, the wind was gentle. The leaves made a soft sound. The world felt peaceful and slow. The traveler closed his eyes. His thoughts did not disappear, but they did not hurt as much. He did not find answers, but he found space to breathe. And that was enough for the night. Part 6. A Soft Morning. In the morning, the traveler walked downstairs. He looked calm, like the morning sky. He gave the lantern back to Aaliyah. "Thank you," he said. "My questions are still here. I still feel unsure. But I feel quiet enough to continue my journey." Aaliyah smiled warmly. "You do not always need big answers," she said. "Sometimes, a soft heart is the first step. Sometimes, peace starts small, like this light." The traveler nodded. "I think I understand. I will walk slowly, and I will not run from my thoughts." Aaliyah placed a gentle hand over the lantern. "Good," she said. "You can return anytime. Light remembers its way home." The traveler bowed his head. Then he left the village, moving slowly, like he was carrying peace in his pocket. Ending. And so, dear listener, remember this tonight. Peace does not need to be loud. Peace does not need to be strong. Sometimes peace is small. Sometimes peace is quiet, but it is still peace. Let your heart rest now. Let your breath be soft. You are safe. Good night. And sleep well.
B1 version. Calm English story. Hello. Welcome. Tonight, we will return to a quiet village where peace grows slowly, and hearts learn to rest one breath at a time. This story is gentle. Nothing loud happens. But feelings shift like morning light. Soft and slow. Almost invisible. Yet very real. Sit comfortably. Breathe softly. Let your busy thoughts walk ahead. You can catch up with them later. Now, our story begins. Part 1. The Quiet Village. Far away from busy roads and rushing minds, there was a small village resting between soft hills and a quiet river. Life here was simple. People woke up with the first light of the sun. They opened their windows to feel the morning breeze, warm in summer, cool in winter. Children walked slowly to fetch water, laughing in small voices, as if they didn't want to disturb the peace. Birds sat on rooftops, singing soft songs that sounded like old memories. No one hurried. No one tried to run faster than time. Time, in this place, moved gently, like a leaf floating on calm water. And in this village lived a lantern maker named Elia. Part 2. The Lantern Maker. Elia's workshop stood near the river, a small building with wooden walls and windows that always glowed warm in the evening. She spent her days shaping lantern frames, polishing glass, and mixing colors so soft they looked like whispers of light. Her lanterns were special. They didn't shine like city lamps. They didn't try to chase darkness away. Instead, they made darkness softer, gentler, easier to sit with. People didn't come to Elia for answers. They came for comfort, for warmth, for a light that could sit quietly beside sadness and not ask it to leave too quickly. Elia believed that hearts, like rooms, do not always need bright light. Sometimes, they only need a small glow to rest in. Part 3. The Traveler Arrives. One cool evening, just after the sun disappeared and the village took its first quiet breath of night, a traveler arrived at Elia's door. He walked slowly. Not because he was tired in his body, but because his thoughts felt heavy, as if each step carried a silent worry. His clothes were clean, but his eyes showed long days without rest. Elia looked at him kindly. "Welcome," she said softly. "You look like you have walked far." The traveler nodded. "I thought distance would help," he said. "I thought if I kept moving, my thoughts would finally grow quiet. But they follow me everywhere." His voice was gentle, but full of tiredness. Not the kind sleep can fix, but the kind only peace can touch. Elia listened, not interrupting, not rushing to speak. Silence settled between them like a blanket around a tired heart. Part 4. A Lantern for Rest. After a moment, Elia stood up and walked to her shelves. There were many lanterns, blue ones like twilight, gold ones like soft sun rays, and pale ones like morning mist. Her fingers moved slowly, as if she was reading a story written in the shapes of light. Then she chose a small lantern with a quiet golden glow, gentle as the first star of the evening. She placed it in the traveler's hands. "This lantern does not bring answers," she said. "It will not chase your thoughts away. But it will sit with them, and make space for you to breathe." The traveler looked at the light. It trembled softly, like a heartbeat learning to feel safe again. "It asks nothing from you," Elia added. "You do not need to be strong right now." His shoulders lowered, just a little. For a moment, his face rested. Part 5. A night to feel safe. That night, Elia prepared a small room for the traveler. There was a simple bed, a wooden chair, and a window that opened to the quiet sky. The traveler placed the lantern beside him. The room filled with warm, gentle light. Not bright, just enough to remind him he wasn't alone. He sat quietly. He did not try to understand his feelings. He did not try to chase them away. He simply breathed. Outside, the wind moved softly through the trees. A river stone shifted under slow water. Somewhere, a night bird called once, and then the world returned to silence. Slowly, the traveler felt his thoughts loosen, like knots gently untied by time. He did not find answers, but he found space, and space was enough. Part 6. Morning light. When morning came, soft sunlight touched the window, and the traveler woke with a quieter heart. He walked downstairs holding the lantern. His eyes looked softer, like someone who remembered how to breathe. He returned the lantern to Elia. "Thank you," he said. "My questions are still here. But now, they are not so loud. I feel calm enough to continue." Elia smiled. "Some peace arrives slowly," she said. "It does not rush. It does not shout. It simply waits. And when we are ready, it walks with us." The traveler nodded, then stepped outside. He walked down the small village road, not lighter in his feet, but lighter in his heart. Closing. And so, tonight, remember, you do not always need answers. You do not always need clarity. Sometimes, all you need is a quiet place to rest, a soft light beside you, and the knowledge that nothing in you needs to hurry. Let your mind be gentle now. Let your heart rest. May peace visit you softly, and stay longer than you expect. Good night. You are safe here.
The Quiet Lantern Maker. B2 version. Calm English story. Welcome. Tonight, we return to a quiet valley, where time moves gently, and even heavy hearts can learn to breathe again. This is not a story of grand miracles. It is a story of small ones, the kind that arrive softly, like morning light finding its way through curtains. Let your breath slow. Let your shoulders fall. This is a place where nothing rushes you. The story begins. Part 1. A village held by quiet. There was a small village, hidden between rolling hills, and a river that never hurried. Days unfolded slowly here. People woke to birdsong instead of alarms, and they greeted the morning air, as if it were an old friend. Children carried baskets to the market, while soft sunlight warmed the rooftops. Elders sat outside their doors, hands wrapped around warm cups, watching the world with peaceful eyes. No one spoke loudly, as if they understood that silence was not emptiness, but space to feel gently. In this village lived Aliyah, the lantern maker. Part 2. Light with Purpose. Aliyah's lantern shop stood near the riverbank, where the water whispered through the stones. Her lanterns were unlike ordinary lanterns. They were not built to push darkness away. They were made to soften it, to make space within it, so hearts could rest instead of fight. Each lantern looked simple, yet each carried a quiet glow, like moonlight resting on still water, or a memory that refuses to fade. People came to her not for light, but for comfort, not to forget their troubles, but to sit beside them without fear. Aliyah believed that sometimes the heart does not need answers, only room to breathe. Part 3. A traveler arrives at dusk. One evening, just as the sky turned violet, and the first stars blinked awake, a traveler arrived at Aliyah's door. He walked as though his steps were heavy, not with distance, but with thought. His clothes carried dust from the road, yet his tired eyes revealed a deeper weariness, the kind born not from journeying, but from searching. Aliyah met his gaze with gentle steadiness. "You look as though you have walked far," she said. The traveler nodded. "I believed that if I kept moving, my thoughts would finally quiet." He lowered his voice. "But they follow me everywhere, even into sleep." Aliyah did not offer advice. She did not hurry him. She simply listened. And in her silence, there was kindness enough to rest in. Part 4. A lantern without demands. After a quiet moment, Aliyah reached for a small lantern. It glowed with a soft, golden shimmer, delicate as candlelight behind frosted glass. "This lantern," she said, "does not promise clarity. It does not chase away uncertainty. Instead, it forgives it. It gives you permission to not know everything right now." The traveler took the lantern carefully, as if it might break beneath his breath. "You do not need to solve your heart tonight," Aliyah added. "You only need to rest beside it." The man's shoulders eased, barely, like the first movement after a long stillness. Part 5. A night of soft thoughts. The traveler stayed in a small room above the shop. He placed the lantern beside him, and its light filled the space with gentle warmth, steady, patient, unhurried. He sat quietly, no longer trying to outrun his thoughts. He listened to them instead, as though they were tired travelers too. Outside, the night moved softly. Leaves rustled in slow conversation. The river hummed a quiet lullaby. And somewhere in the distance, a single bird called to the moon. He realized that silence did not demand answers. It simply offered room for questions to breathe. And slowly, very slowly, he felt peace settle like dust on still furniture. Quiet, unnoticed at first, then undeniable. Part 6. Morning softness. When morning came, sunlight brushed the window like a gentle hand. The traveler carried the lantern downstairs. He placed it on the counter, but held it for a moment longer than necessary, as though reluctant to let go of its quiet company. "My questions remain," he said softly. but they do not frighten me today. I feel steady enough to continue. Aliyah smiled. The kind of smile that held understanding, rather than celebration. Peace, she said, does not always arrive with answers. Sometimes it arrives with patience. The traveler bowed his head in gratitude. Then he turned toward the road, walking slowly, with the kind of tiredness that no longer hurt, only reminded him he was human. Ending. And tonight, as you rest, remember: not every question needs an answer. Not every wound needs a cure at once. Sometimes, all a heart needs is a gentle place to sit, and the grace to be uncertain, without fear. May your thoughts soften. May your breath deepen. May your night be kind to you. Rest well. You are safe here. End.